You're going to love the new collection that's called Serenity by Hot Off the Press. Lots of fun elements together.
And I love the deep, rich colors in this paper
They're
pack.
gorgeous.
Oh yeah, the whole collection. It's a beautiful gardening, kind of an autumn look, birds and florals. You're going to love it.
And that's just the papers. Wait till we tell you about the other stuff. Come play with us. Well, these are the goodies. Now, you kind of mentioned the colors and so forth, but let's just walk through what all the products are.
Right, sounds good. So what do we want to start with?
Well, we have papers, we have ribbons, we have dazzles,
we have 3D paper tulle, and we have some beautiful extra elements. We have some velvet flowers and metal leaves.
Yeah, so we're going to scoop these away. You're going to take those, and we're going to talk about the papers because that's where all the creativity starts.
Absolutely.
And because these are hot off the press, you know that you're going to get ideas free of charge, by the way. So scrapbook page, card ideas, and then not only those on the front, but in addition, you're getting some more on the back. Not a bad deal.
Right, and you're already seeing those rich colors we were talking about.
Yeah.
This is such a beautiful floral and autumn gardening side kind of a paper pack.
Pretty, pretty, pretty. Now,
beautiful.
Let's look at the papers. We're going to see one side right now. You do get 12 papers. They are an 80-pound weight paper. You can kind of hear that.
It's a very nice heavyweight paper.
Yeah, but it's paper. It's not cardstock because we like paper.
Right.
And just feel like it's more versatile and not as heavy on your projects. So this is really the beginning of it. And you can see not only the close-up of the flowers, but also those in the distance.
Right, and you get sort of, you get that ghosted in look. You get some pen work in there. So it's a real artistic view of this garden effect. And the shadows, I love this paper.
And then even in the background, you get this modeling of the different colors. So layers, we have layers,
and
folks.
it looks like it's on canvas. I don't know if you can
see
that.
Yeah.
Right. It looks almost like an oil painting on canvas.
Yeah, very pretty. So that's number one. Number two is a brown tone on tone, and you can kind of see the leaves in the background, as well as, again, more of the layering and shadowing of the colors in the background, all in the brown tones, but there you go. And then we have, speaking of watercolor, another one that is obviously in the greens with tinges of the other colors.
I love the shading of the it's almost like a braid work when you get in close.
Yeah, I think it's more leaves is kind of how I take it, but just very, very stunning. And then we have a wood grain, and the wood grain is very tight, as you can see. So that is, you can use it vertically, horizontally, however you like.
It looks real to me too.
It does, doesn't it? And this is just lovely, very, very useful. And so we've got the same flowers, but this time in that burnt red as well as the gold, and just a beautiful look, shaded on the edges to also give you more dimension. And this one is also the kind of the sponged background, this time of the burgundies and the blacks, just very rich.
There's that deep, rich color. That's perfect for offsetting lighter colors.
It is. And then we're going to flip these over and show you the back side. And this is the one you pointed to.
That's my personal favorite.
That's your personal favorite. And I can see why. Beautifully detailed leaves. And then we have this one, which is a kind of a blending of that watercolor look, but then it's got a very small leaf print all over. And as John gets in close,
and
you can really
see the texture that makes it look like canvas.
Yeah,
that's just almost a burlap kind of a look.
While we're in close, we're going to see a little bit larger leaf, but you do get a taste of that watercolor background, just how gorgeous that is as it floats behind the art.
Beautiful botanicals.
And this is that same leaf, but a much larger, but again, with that background that's just lovely.
And that mix of colors in there.
Yeah,
pretty.
Very refreshing. Yeah. And we have the stripes. Again, you've got leaves all over. So leaves, flowers, botanicals are what's going on in Serenity. And then we're hopping into the blues. This is the one paper that's got the watercolor look that is also found in the color combination.
Right, and it's a nice accent, so it's something
Yes.
a little bit surprising with the greens and the browns.
Now, while we've got this out, do you want to bring the ribbons?
Let's do that. So the ribbon set matches all of this perfectly. You're going to get 12 ribbons in this set, 36 inches each, and look at that rich grosgrain, that great maroon color. It's a dark maroon, and then you've got, as always, you've got a nice crepe, and that's a kind of a gold color. There's another crepe in a navy, nice wide, like a 5/8 inch crepe. I love the sheer with the dots, but it's like green on green, so it's kind of a darker look. There's a twine. I think this is a...
You'll have 72 inches of the twine, right?
twine.
36 inches of the ribbon, 72 inches of the twine.
So that's a deep forest green. There's an 1/8 inch sheer here in that kind of a cranberry wine color. There's a vine, which is perfect. You almost kind of need the vine for these papers, and it fits in so perfectly. An 1/8 inch grosgrain in a brown. This is just gorgeous. I'm hoping you can see this. There are leaves on there. Beautiful
printed on the sheer.
On this sheer with a really gold kind of shimmery. That's just a beautiful look. And then we have a 1/4 inch sheer in that dark forest green. And I'm trying to make sure I get everything. There's a twill. It's kind of a soft brown. So I think I've got everything.
I don't think you did the wide web.
I did the wide web. Oh yeah. That's a nice big wide web. Gosh, what is that, like 2 inches wide? And so that's great for that fall look, and it's really heavy duty too.
It makes a nice border, by the
You
way,
can
too.
cut this too. You can split it down the middle and make it not quite so wide if you need to.
I didn't count, so I think that's probably all.
I think that's all of them.
Now we're going to bring in the paper towel. This is paper towel. As you know, these are already die cut, and you are going to get a finished image that's going to resemble the #1 image. So you see, this is #1, that happens to be blue. Another image is this one, and all of the elements that go on top of it. The third image is the tag with those beautiful botanicals and so forth.
And you just foam tape them. You pop them out real easy. You foam tape them on top of each other. And I really appreciate that the different number combinations are in different colors.
Right, just makes it easier to kind of make sure they all go together. Now, just want to make sure you know, you can stack them together as they were designed, or you can certainly, in this case, use them individually, because each of those images, maybe except for the wing, looks, you could do it separately. So just want you to know, don't want to withhold any information.
So it can be more than just 3. You can get lots more out of it.
But you're going to get beautiful art. And dazzles. Now, these are the 8x9 inch dazzles. You're going to get 2 sheets in here that are different. And we pulled off the backing material so you can kind of see, not kind of see, you can see. Here's one of the sheets in that beautiful gold.
Just a beautiful look. I love the deer and the bird in there. Look at the dragonfly. So you've got a little bit of nature, of gardening. It's just gorgeous.
Right, and you also get in here this sheet of jewel dazzles in the copper. So this is a chance to mix your metals, and there are going to be 540 of those, in addition to, let me see, 82 imageries right here. Not bad for $6.
Not bad at all. Plus more ideas on the back, as usual, because it's hot off the press.
And we're going to be showing you those ideas. And then we've added a couple of things. We've added the velvet hydrangeas from our friends at Petaloo, and beautiful colors that just absolutely coordinate with these beautifully.
And there's over 30, I think there's something like 36 flowers in there. That's quite a few. It doesn't say it on there.
Okay.
That's, I believe that's true.
Okay.
Just beautiful different elements. And then we also have from Maya Road these metal leaves. So they're a heavy duty metal leaf, but they're not heavy.
Yeah, they're very light.
They're lightweight.
And
there
there
are some things you could do with that. We'll show you in a little bit. There are 5. I pulled one out.
Okay, here we go. Let's get to the project. So we're going to start with this. And this is just a great example of an option for you. Now, we have used the dazzles, as you can see, and we've also used the Serenity papers, but we've added the 8 circles and scallops cutting die because that's really just become a mainstay for the design team.
Easy to use, and it makes a nice background for a focal in this case, which I just love. So you've got that circle, there's that pop of blue that's just a perfect match with those suede papers.
And yes, that's it. We added the suede, and you can see that deep, rich color that the suede provides. And another thing that I think would be fun with this same design is if you wanted to, you could make this a window, put maybe vellum there and let the hope be on the inside. We didn't do that here, but on the inside we have this. So another of the circles, count your blessings.
And that's just another nice card front right there. That could be a great card front all on itself. I love the window idea though. I wanted to show you, since these are backed, these dazzles are backed, just real simply how to back a dazzle.
Sure. Okay.
So here are some of the well-used dazzles that we have. Serenity dazzles. We've been using them quite a bit. I've got that little bird. I'm going to place it on that beautiful burgundy paper. Real simple, just set it down. And then you just start going around the outside edge and let your scissors follow the edge of that dazzle.
Now, sometimes there is a group of people out there, and I think they're led by Sarah Newman. They are the scissor challenged, and bless their hearts. This can be somewhat off-putting, but it really is not difficult to do.
It's not, just following the edge like that. Now here, I'm gonna do something different.
Yeah, whack out the paper you don't need.
That makes it easier. Now you can see what I've done already. I've just followed the edge, and you can just continue all the way around. If you feel like you're scissor challenged, then leave a border, leave a mat, and just sort of go around the edge like that. That's another look. And we do that quite a bit too. And if you feel like that is easier for you than getting close to that dazzle, then that's 2 separate looks.
But the thing that I find about going next to the dazzle is that the edge of the dazzle almost seems to guide my scissors when I'm doing that. And let's turn this over, because it will sometimes look kind of choppy on the back. Well, don't worry about it, because really all you care about is what it looks like on the front. And just let that edge, let the edge of the dazzle guide your scissors. So just wanted to point that out. Backing a dazzle is what we call it.
Backing a dazzle, it's sort of a mainstay with our dazzles.
And while we're in nice and close, I thought this would be a great time to just show you the combination of the gold dazzle and the copper jewel dazzle. And the copper dazzle also has a gold edge, so that's going to be another reason why that's going to look so pretty.
So you've got a combination of backing with papers, backing with the suede, and then just placing the dazzle right onto the card too.
Yeah, I love those, the tiniest dazzles being in there, almost like berries.
Just little accents, and I like how they were used on the edges of the scallop too.
Inside the dragonflies as they're fluttering. Now this is a paper, obviously, from the Serenity paper pack. Is that blue, a section of that blue. So there you go.
So it's simple to make a really dramatic looking card. The colors make it sort of dramatic.
They do. Now we're going to go take a little step using the bendy template. Now this is a brand new template. I am of the opinion that you cannot make a bad card that is the bendy shape. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I absolutely agree. So if you're going to show the card.
Now the card is shipped or mailed flat like this, and you can see this has the kind of curved edges. But when the recipient gets it, they're going to take this edge and slip it into that slot, slip it into a slot, and then they're going to take this edge, which is hidden under the ribbon, and put it into the slot that's over here.
Okay, so it's not rocket science, and yet it makes a card that's out of this world.
Very good. That was nicely done, you clever woman. And you can see that's the reason why it's called bendy, because these shapes bend in, and it will stand up as I just showed you. You cannot make, I have never seen a card that's done the bendy that was not gorgeous, and this one certainly qualifies.
I just want to point out really briefly that one of the great things about this card is that when you cut these panels, you're going to trace and cut these out of cardstock. You can get a straight edge panel, or there's an option for a curved panel, and that's what you're seeing on Teresa's card. That was a curved panel.
Kind of hard to see that curved panel.
Okay.
There you can see it a little bit better. So there's one for each of the two edges.
Right.
And this is a long shape, so we couldn't just do it out of a 12 by 12 because it's longer than that.
Right.
So,
but you can use a 12 by 12 piece of paper to get all of the pieces you need. So here are the pieces. Once you trace them and cut them out,
now you've done the straight edge.
I did the straight edge on this one, and I cut the little slit. There's a slit there and a slit here. Now, if you want, you can cover these with the paper patterns before you put together, after you put it together. But this is going to get glued on the edge here and fold over.
You just want to make sure that the bottom edge is even.
Right. And this one is glued on the left side and folded over. And before I do any more, I actually did this on a different one. So here's one that's already been done. They've been glued onto the back. You kind of can't see it. Those tabs have been glued onto the back. There you go. There you can see both tabs there. And then when they're folded over in the front, you have those little slots. Make sure that you put that slot on the left side of the back if you're going this way, and then there. And so that's the technique.
There you go. And there are also paper patterns here, so everything is ready for you. It is a great look, and as you probably know, we pretty much introduced the shaped of cards first in a die-cut pack. Then we do a template, not of all of them, but of some, and the bendy was certainly worth doing a template.
So the die-cut bendy card is also, it's ready to go for you, but the template is fun and easy to use.
And the template allows you to do your base out of any cardstock you want, or specialty paper, anything you like.
That's the great bonus about it.
Yeah, and by the way, this is all dazzles. Now, the only dazzle that has been backed is this one. And so I just thought we should really be paying attention to the card for a moment.
If you recognize this card, we did show this card a little bit ago in a week of Webisodes. This is one of Teresa's cards. So you'll recognize it from that.
Hers was just a little preview. And then what she did is left this inner area blank for an area for you to write your message. You could put something here. What I really thought was fun about this card is how easy it is. I mean, this is just placing dazzles. Oh, I guess the bird is backed with a blue. Backed,
but you almost,
and the flowers.
You almost don't have to. I'm noticing that, you know, it's the same color as the background, so you could have just placed it there if you wanted to.
So just really, really pretty. And notice this one has been foam taped. The flowers down here were just glued directly onto. So count your blessings. Good message.
With a beautiful paper pack.
Now we're going to go to using the paper towel, and this is one of the favorites, the center step die cut cards. You get 5 cards, 5 envelopes. There is also a template for this one.
And these are scored and folded, ready to go. Just use the paper patterns within to get these nice layers of papers that you're seeing here. And then all you have to do is add dazzles and paper towel. It's such a simple card with a dramatic result.
Isn't this fun down here? Just almost makes a nest for the bird as the paper towel bird. Love the art.
Okay, now some different jewel dazzles were added there. Some purple ones, so that adds a little more interest.
And then on the inside, hope is what is done with the flourish there. So
that's great. I love that torn. Yeah, the torn and then inked as well, so you can see it really stand out. It's a beautiful look. I love the words that come with these dazzles. They're really inspiring.
Really, really pretty. Now we have another one. So this is using the same bird, as you can see. Obviously, kind of the same papers too. At least this one is the same, but a very different look. And Count Your Blessings was used. You saw that in the earlier card. I like how the dazzles are behind the paper towel. And boy, this this little bird has really got a nest of hydrangeas, doesn't it?
Nested in those flowers. Now, the flowers themselves are not self-adhesive, so just use dots to attach them, and you can just layer them. The leaves are separate, so you can make any pattern you want, and that's what it looks like to me. Yeah, just a nest of flowers. That's
but the leaves do come in the package.
They come in the package, but all, right. You just have to tuck them in separately and put them all around.
Right.
But I love that. I love the extra loops of that ribbon here. It's just an extra cute look.
Again, a torn edge that's been inked, and on the inside there's another little hope. And really, I think this is just a lovely thing to remember, of just taking a corner, tearing it, putting your dazzle, let something go outside of it, just for interest, and it just creates a really pretty inside.
It does. Something on the paper, something off the paper, and that's a really beautiful look.
And the papers just don't hurt whatsoever. Now, we're going to show you something that's a little bit of a preview, so we're not going to demo, right? But because this project used the Serenity papers, we wanted to bring it in. So here we go.
The card itself, it's made with this template, the mini gatefold card template, which is a really great and fun template. You can make lots of different looks with this. And the one that you're seeing here is this dragonfly.
Yeah, there is a butterfly, there's a flower, there's a label, there's a heart.
There's a medallion.
And there's a dragonfly.
And you've got all the little extra elements needed to create this small card. Now, the finished size of this card is it 4 inches? 4 inches. So it's a smaller card, and when you open it up, this is what I grade. So what you want to do, it's the mini gatefold, so you know it's in the center, and it opens up like so.
Ta-da!
Ta-da, to that beautiful paper. So I love the wood grain is used here on the front in combination with those stripes, but the gatefold connected to that card are these dragonfly wings, and in this case they've been embossed with 2 different embossing powders. I used metallic silver, the superfine metallic silver, and glamour green Wow glitter embossing powder, and it just matched well with the colors, and I love the ribbons on there.
And on each of these, the idea that you get a decorative shape for your gatefold card. So that's the benefit. And notice that you get the patterns in large as well as small embellishments. So that's true of all of them. And as we said, we're going to be doing a webisode on this, but this one, it just was a good time.
But the instructions on the template really tell exactly how to do it too. So you can get the template before the webisode if you like.
And what, you could do that. Or, of course you could. Now, the other thing that we have, blah, 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 is a mini envelope. And the reason we did that is because this is a smaller sized card, and we just thought it only prudent to offer a template. And so the template is a smaller one, of course, and so it's going to make an envelope that's going to work perfectly. But we also, because we just couldn't just do the shape, so we added some label shapes so that you can layer, and you used it.
And it makes such a cute, I love it on that pattern paper in particular. So you've got this beautiful double-sided paper, so that when you make this envelope, the inside is going to be, decorated too because of that pattern. This is super simple to make, and then you use the actual template. It makes this beautiful edge, and then you can use the labels for the center there. And the little dragonfly came from the other template as a decoration.
So did we whet your appetite for that? Okay, let's go into scrapbooking. Scrapbookers, pay attention. Here we are. Now, this is one of the sheets, as you can see, and this is a perfect example of why our designers do what they do. To go ahead and ink that edge for you digitally into the paper really provides a wonderful framework for the work that you're going to do in the middle.
It's a nice shadow, draws your eye into the center of the papers and towards those great photos.
And then look at what the dazzles have done. And what dazzles are so perfect for paper crafting because they're flat. But they're going to give you not only a raised edge, they're going to give you a glittery edge or a shiny edge.
Now pair it with some of the other papers, the other pattern papers, and you get a nice contrast with that beautiful gold against that maroon. here against those teals, and just absolutely beautiful.
Now this is actually one of the borders, and the borders are done in 6-inch lengths. Now they will meet up perfectly so that you can't tell where they meet, but what a neat idea to do it along the bottom of a photo.
And then just to add some of those copper jewel dazzles right along it too, just a little extra sparkle, and a few extra little backed dazzles here, and a few leaves, and it's just really simple to make a really beautiful layout.
And this is on the second photo on the page. We also have a tag with the words. And then up in the corner, in an area that is unused, meaning, my meaning is that it's not integral to what's going on. We've added the little dragonfly and added more of those jewel dazzles.
Actually, the companion page to this, the other one is it's a double page spread, this one, so when you put them together, it's just all of these.
Here, we'll have John jump out.
All of these different ways of using those beautiful dazzles just makes a beautiful double page spread.
And let's get in close. Now, time to go close, John. Let's look at the, right there. That, I have not seen that done before, and that is just gorgeous. Now, the photos are of the couple in the garden, so you might be thinking, well, that's pretty fancy for a garden. Well, that's just how it is. Our garden is a fancy garden, folks. That's what it looks like.
It is beautiful. It's because of the papers. It's because it ties in so well with the papers that you can do that with these dazzles and not have it look overdone.
Right. But just think of these on a heritage page, on a family reunion page.
I mean, if you use the dazzles and put them on black, that would just be stunning with just a few little paper accents.
This is pretty, going just right up, kind of following the her arm. Just really, just lovely. So beautiful. Fun to do, fun to use.
And what I love is what you're about to bring in is that different colors can make such a different look for these pages.
Very green, obviously, kind of blue, teal green, and then going definitely into the browns.
And into autumn. So you have this fall page. I love this. The mushroom hunt.
There she goes, diligently looking, again, climbing up the edge. That's just a beautiful look. Oh, absolutely. Here is what I meant about the 2 6-inch links where you cannot tell where they have been joined.
They just melt together in the middle, and they can go all the way across your page.
Kind of like they were designed that way, huh?
I love the matting that's involved here. You just get a little bit of dark, I think that's a dark brown, or that's a black, actually, black cardstock, just a little bit there to sort of differentiate between the two papers.
Now the background paper is from the collection. You can see it's that light, or the tone-on-tone brown, and then of course the leaves, as we've been talking about, more dragonflies fluttering. Over here, just a beautiful embellishment, darling photo.
Just a few of the dazzles, and then you've got that paper toll up at the top.
And what I thought was clever was the paper toll, but adding the dazzles behind it.
Instead of putting journaling or something like that on it, just add some of the dazzles.
Just very nice. More of the silhouette dragonflies just fluttering, and another of the borders. Just gorgeous. And yet another scrapbook page. Are you keeping count? Okay, this one is really blending the accent pieces. It's adding in the hydrangeas, those velvet hydrangeas.
And those metal leaves. And what I really like is that here's that large border print that's just been torn. The border portion has been torn and set on top of that maroon colored paper. Okay,
so torn there. And then here you can really see it being torn. Our matted photo was slipped under that torn edge. But notice what we've done from a design standpoint is that things are peeking over into the photo all the way in areas that don't interfere with seeing the image.
I wanted to show you something kind of neat about those metal flowers and leaves. You can leave them the way they are. They fit with the photo perfectly with the
And that's
papers,
how it is here.
And that's how it is here. But I have one over here. There are a couple of different ways that you can treat that if you want to get a different look. Something that's pretty common with our metal pieces is that you can sand them. And when you do, you're going to get a different finish to pop up. So just a little bit of sanding. I'm trying to, maybe I can, there we go. And then you get a different look. Underneath this one, it's a little bit of a
silver
kind of a
look.
tarnished silver look. So you can make it look a little bit distressed in that way, or a little bit vintage. And if you want something a little darker, then you get out your jet black StazOn. And you can, I think I like to use a sponge rather than direct from the ink pad, though you can do both. And then you can ink it and just apply a little bit of ink.
Yeah, just highlight it, and you're going to get obviously darker on the tips. A little bit of a darker look, and it'll keep that gold down in those veins. So a couple of different ways of altering those metal leaves. So, and here's a close-up of it, or of them added to the hydrangeas and the dazzles. I love the combination of not only textures but of colors that is going on. You know, another thing you can do with those, but I'm not going to show you, but I think I've done it on other webisodes, is go ahead and put some Versamark on the edges and a little bit of gold embossing powder, and that would really make them pop. The other thing, yeah, that's right, because they're metal. Right. You could also do any of the mega flakes or the gilding flakes would be pretty on the edges. Inca gold is great for that as well. You can play, folks. I guess that's what we're saying. But just to see that, how that combination is going here. Now on this paper toll tag, the Love Dazzle has been done. And notice that along the edges of it, there's some pen work going right along. Right. To help it just to stand out just a little bit. Another option for doing that, if you need it to stand out a little bit more, is just put a little bit of chalk or ink down just with onto the paper before you set the dazzle down. That'll really help it to pop. A little bit of ribbon there, a little bit of ribbon over here with the sheer loops. Those ribbons tucked in. I love the time that whoever picks out the ribbons, the time that they take to make sure that it matches the collection is just really valued. Well, I have to tell you, you want to know how that happens? How does that happen? Okay, well what happens is that the paper palette, the color palette is sent to the folks at Creative Impressions. Okay. They then make a selection and send us extras, and then Kyla, our art director, will look at them against the papers and make her final selection. So there is a process. And she does a great job. They all do a great job. Yes, they do. So that's what we have for Serenity. We have dazzles, we have paper toll, we have papers, ribbons, and they're all just rich and beautiful and gardeny. Yes, and you're going to find serenity in using them. Do you like that? So. Did that work? Yes. See you next week.